All right, well, it happened again. I just worked out, went for a walk to cool down, and out of nowhere I heard the name Tamara and the state of Idaho. I'm going to continue this crazy experiment. I'm doing this for two reasons, right? I started a teaching series on YouTube about the Marseille Tarot, and I plan to go really deep, and I'm breaking it down. If you want to go over to my YouTube channel, Tarot by Keith, and subscribe, you can find it all there. I'll be doing daily teachings. So these little rando readings can provide little short labs, if you will, on 3 card spreads, and also it's an experiment and just listening to my intuition and sending stuff out, not having any attachment to where it goes or any results or anything. So it is really fun to do, so I'm just glad to do it. I'm still sweating, pardon me. All right, so once again, Tarot by Keith. I am reading from the Ancient Marseille. It's a hand-drawn and painted deck that I made a few years ago. I still continue to make more, but for right now I'm going to focus on Tamara or Tara, and I'm getting the state of Idaho. And I want you guys to remember that we incarnate in groups, soul groups called monads. So this reading doesn't necessarily have to be attached to one person. If it resonates with you, if you're watching it, it probably is for you as well. So, all right, focusing Tamara or Tara in Idaho. That card flew out. Whoops. This card flew out. Prop myself back up here. There we go. And one more. Okay. All right. So, a quick little short reading. If Tamara or Tara from Idaho sees this, drop me a line. Let me know. All right. So, the recent past, we have the Knight of Pentacles. All right, so once you go through the cycle of 1 through 10 of the minor arcanum, of which there's 4 groups representing the 4 elements. This is the Pentacles, which ties into the earth energy. Once you go through the cycle of 1 through 10, you hit 4 court cards. The Page, the Queen, the King, and then the ultimate card, the Knight. So this is the Knight of Pentacles. The court cards do not have any numbers attached, so you don't have the handle of numerology to go off of. So when I'm reading the Knight of Pentacles in the recent past, this is getting ready to move out of a cycle involving earth energy. What is earth energy? Pentacles. It's anything corporeal, anything physical. I like to say it's how we experience the 3rd dimension with our 5 senses. It often represents finances or money because it's depicted as coins in the card, but it can also represent your physical body, your house, your living situation, your job, your career. It ties into things earthbound, right? So this is the ultimate conquering, right? We talked about the structure of the tarot, how it's 2 perfect squares, one on top of the other. The bottom square represents the ground and the top square represents the sky, so earth and spirituality. So this figure, this male figure, has ascended completely. His consciousness has ascended and is occupying the top half of the square. His body, this light blue spiritual horse, wearing this flesh-colored shawl or whatever this is on his chest, represents his body. Okay, so this means his body has been spiritualized. His consciousness is guiding his body through the world. He's standing on yellow ground, and yellow represents logic, intellect, and idea. So there's some sort of conquering of knowledge going on here. And he's touching this yellow ground with his red feet, masculine active energy. So he's actively touching this ground of knowledge that he's accumulated, probably tied into earth energy. And it's sprouting all of these orange plants. Orange is the mixture of red and yellow, and orange means fulfillment. It's when you put what you've learned into action. So he's got a beautiful mixture of red and blue in the card, which represents the divine masculine and divine feminine energy. So he's very balanced right now. His heart center, his chest is very active. He's ready to move forward. And his arms, which are how we act in the world, are receptive and intuition. So he's active in the heart and acting on his intuition as he rides his spiritualized body into the future. He's leaning toward the future, looking at this to me is him manifesting physical resources, right? Money. This is him knowing that the money's going to show up. He's at ease. He doesn't worry about it anymore. He's out of poverty consciousness. Now, what's also interesting is he's actually holding a green wand. So this is a shout out to the wand's energy, which is where the pentacles move toward. In the world card, on the lower receptive side of the card, so this is receiving energy on the ground, is the pentacles energy. And from there, it moves into the active side of the ground, which is wands. So this being the last card of the pentacles means he's moving into the next cycle, which is the wands, represented by what he's grabbing a hold of here. So Tamara or Tara from Idaho, this says to me that you've recently really conquered a physical lesson, a pentacles lesson, earthbound energy. This could be finally recognizing that you're worth a good salary, conquering poverty consciousness, ready to move forward, ready to move from the earth into the fire energy. You received energy on the ground, and now you're ready to take that energy and create something with it, which is the wand's energy. So that's the recent past in this 3-card spread. And look at that, we're moving straight into the Ace of Swords. All right, and the aces represent the number 1, which is all in potential. It's the start of a brand new cycle. So a knight going from the past into a brand new, this is the last card of the pentacles moving into the first card of the swords. So swords are the air sign, which is mental energy. It represents your mental body. And I can even see this hand could be this knight's hand, reaching out of the past, bursting through this dark and light blue burst, right? So this is like boom, it's moving through this spiritual intuitive center with this and the green legs, right? The green legs and the green wand. Green again symbolizes rebirth. So now the green sleeve is grabbing a hold of this green handle, which is activating this masculine red energy moving up the spine of the card, which represents the Kundalini. And look at that. It even has a literal crown bursting through the crown. The tip of the sword is up here. So this is shooting energy, mental energy up the spine, and a crown chakra activation. So there's a lot of energy in this card. The Ace of Swords represents a brand new mental cycle. There's a lot of balance going on here. There's orange and blue, which is spiritual fulfillment. And there's a bunch of green berries growing off this side of the card with all these spiritual leaves. Green berries symbolize rebirth. So there's this new budding of receptive spiritual knowledge on the side. So a new mental cycle, a whole new way of thinking. Conquering this Pentacles energy is what prepared you for this new way of thinking, this Ace of Swords energy in the present moment. So what are you going to do with that energy in the near future, Tara or Tamara from Idaho? We've got the 5 of Cups. So this says to me that there is a test coming. 5s, we had one in yesterday's reading too. 5s are speed bumps. They're the square before you go up into the top half of the card. So you go through the 1 through the 4 and then you hit the 5, which is like, did you really learn what we were trying to tell you? Because if you don't pass this test, you're not going to bump up into the 6 and 7, 8, and 9, the top half of the card. So cups are the water sign. They represent your emotional life. And you can see the color orange is all over the place on all the cup cards. So there's that mixture of the red and the yellow, which also exists on the cups, presenting that orange. So again, yellow is what you've learned. Red is active energy, putting what you've learned into action. Gives you orange, which is fulfillment, emotional fulfillment in this regard. Now, there's some beautiful things going on in this card, even though the 5 of Cups can be a bit rough emotionally. This could be getting out of a bad relationship that you know is bad for you, that leads to some growth. There's self-love depicted in this card. All right, so the top square is spiritual, the bottom square is physical. As humans, we bridge the sky to the ground through our heart. So the middle of the card represents the heart chakra. Well, look at that. There's a heart right there around this cup being birthed right in the center of the card. This represents self-love. So the Five of Cups means to me that you lose something, but you gain love for yourself as a result of this once you go through the emotional hardship, once you cry all the tears out and learn what the lesson was about. It's all about this middle cup being supported. There's action at the root. There's spiritual intuition being put into action. There's new knowledge represented by this yellow heart. A yellow heart means emotional intelligence. And there's these beautiful spiritual flowers with active red centers right around this cup of self-love. There's two sets of two reflected on the ground and the sky, and two is balance, duality, and partnership. So you're balanced in how you receive love from divine. You're balanced in how you give it back to your physical world around you, but you're forgetting to stop and give some of that love back to yourself in the middle. And the Five of Cups is teaching you how to love yourself. That's what this is about. So it's a heart chakra activation. So Tara or Tamara in Idaho, or anyone this resonates with, you've recently conquered a money cycle. You're about ready to put what you've learned about self-worth and overcoming poverty consciousness into creative energy. You're moving on into wands. And that is leading to a new way of thinking, a crown chakra activation, a whole new mental cycle represented by the Ace of Swords. Everything in potential in terms of your mental body. You're going to be tested, and the Five of Cups is coming. And that's going to teach you how to pass an emotional test and expand your heart, especially geared towards self-love. So this is the reading. So there you go. I hope you like it. I'm doing daily tarot teachings on my YouTube channel, Tarot by Keith. I do private readings online. My Facebook page, Tarot by Keith, will give you more information about that should you be interested. All right. Thanks, guys. Bye.